Hi there, you're welcome once again. This is Man Making a Difference Every Day. My name is Sola John, and on today's episode of Man Made, I want to ask a question. Is baby mama good for you? I was watching an interview. A man had, impregnated about 3 women and had 8 children by them. And the interviewer was asking him, are you ready to get married to any of them? And he said no, he wasn't ready. And the woman asked, why are you not ready? And he said, he gave some excuses. And the woman said, that is not your problem. Your problem is that you are not ready to be responsible. And that got me thinking. I like to say this. Having a baby mama means that, you impregnate a lady and then she gives birth for you. And for some reasons, either because you are not ready to marry her, you move on, and then some people keep replicating that. So they have 2, 3, 4, 5 baby mamas. So we have a bunch of women who are now pregnant for men that are not responsible for those children. You've got to understand that what makes you a man is not the fact that you have male organ. It's not the fact that you can reproduce. What makes you a man is responsibility. Manhood is a trust. Manhood is responsibility. Manhood is a ministry, is a calling, especially in this generation that men are becoming absent from their responsibility. And you need to understand that when you are making a choice to have baby mamas, you are also making a choice to reproduce children that may not necessarily be accountable to you. You are making a choice to bring children forth that you have no say in their lives. Now, you are not making the world a better place necessarily. You are not showing some sense of responsibility, because taking charge and being responsible for those children is part of the assignment a man must have. It's part of the assignment. The role of a man is not just to bring forth children, it is to train children. For the scripture says, you should train a child in the way that he should go. When he is grown, he will not depart from it. There is an amount of training that goes with children. If you notice in some cultures, they don't have many children. And the reason is simple. Number one, what do women go through when they're pregnant? And number two, the cost of training a child is so costly. It costs you time, it costs you emotions, it costs you finances, it costs everything. In Africa, we believe it takes a village to raise a child. But what happens when a man decides to have baby mamas? It's a decision that does not come with a sense of responsibility. And you don't want to be caught doing that. Being responsible is one of the things that make us to be men. And you want to be, as much as possible, behave responsibly. It is not just because a woman gives you access to her private part, and then you think that's the end of life. As a matter of fact, that's the beginning. And one of the things you probably want to do is to think of the consequences of your actions. Some men are found denying their pregnancies. And then you ask yourself, did you have anything to do with the lady? And he says yes. Was there an unprotected affair? And they say yes. Common sense should tell you that when it rains, the water falls down. That's what happens. And when there is a bucket to collect the water, there will be water in the bucket. So did it rain? Yes. How did water get into the bucket? You can answer the question. And then the argument back and forth, paternity test, and all of that. You want to ask yourself, do I want to father children that are liabilities to the society? Do I want to father children that don't have my input in their lives? Do I want to father children that I cannot talk to, that I cannot contribute to their life? I watched a documentary some years ago. It's titled The Father's Effect. And they began to interview people whose fathers were not present in their life. Now, when you see a lady who has father's issues, you can tell. Oftentimes, because their fathers are not present in their lives, they enter abusive relationships. Oftentimes, they are at the mercy of men who comes in and deceive them because they lack that emotional empathy. They lack that relationship with a father. So when you hear a girl has father issue, it's simply because there was no father in her life. It happens to men also. And these things have a way it plays out. Because a man has not really got the presence of a father in his life, he doesn't want to submit to a mentor because he doesn't even know the value of a mentor. He doesn't want to submit to his leader. He doesn't even know the value of a leader. He doesn't know the value of having somebody over him because he's not used to being under authority. He thinks being under authority is being under someone that can manipulate. He thinks of being under authority is being under check, and therefore he cannot do anything. See, if you know the value of authority, you will look for authority and put your head under it. If you know the value of authority, you will seek out mentor. Ask people who are in the military what authority looks like. What does it mean to be under a commandant? The commandant is expected to have more experience, to have foresight, to have insight, to have hindsight, and to guide the troop, not into trouble, but out of trouble. And so, it's a lot. It's a lot to be a commandant. It's a lot to be a mentor. It's a lot to be a father. It's a lot to be a leader. And that's why those who choose the route of baby mamas, not wanting to be a committed husband, not wanting to be in a committed relationship, they know what they're doing. Some know, some don't. They are avoiding and evading responsibility. But you don't want to be in that category. You don't want to be in the category of a man who just gives monthly support to the woman that has given birth for him, simply because he cannot contribute to shaping the life and the character of that child. I sympathize with those who are already here by one virtue of one reason or the other, by mistakes. But the mistakes shouldn't have to be the end of your life. If you know you have a child somewhere, you can seek to build a relationship with that child and contribute your quarter into the life of that child in shaping the character. So we don't have one more boy on the street. We don't have one more girl on the street. We don't have one more boy in pain, one more girl in pain, who is aware that he has a father or she has a father, but unfortunately, the father has no impact on his life. I was speaking with a colleague sometimes ago. They run in their country. They run this foster home. So a stable family whose children are grown, maybe they have gone to higher institution or they are married, can choose to approach the government agencies through an NGO that they want to be a foster home. So himself and his wife, their children are grown and they are no more with them. They choose to adopt children. And then here was a lady who was a drunk and had given birth to 3 children for 3 different men. Okay, so his family adopted 2 of them. And I was just telling him, I said, I saw your boy and I just love him and I would like my son to be a friend to him. So he was telling me about the issues the boy had, how he battles with anger, and when he's angry, he could destroy anything. You know what? It's a carryover of the young mother, 25-year-old, who gave birth to him and will be drunk and will be violent. Where are the 3 fathers? Nowhere to be found. I volunteered with a group, and I remember one of the times we went out to preach somewhere, and the leader of the team was sharing his story, and he shared the story of how his mother ran away from home and got pregnant of him. And he said till date he doesn't know his father. You know, somebody is responsible. As a man, one of the responsibility I believe God has given you is to ensure that your zip, you are the one that opens and closes it. And that you don't open and close it carelessly. That your trouser, one, has a good zip. Two, you are the one that opens and closes it. Three, you don't open and close it carelessly. That you can't account for where your seeds have been or have gone to. In another episode, I'm going to talk about how sex and ego seems to go together for men. But can I tell you something? You are not the number of women you have slept with. Your value is not in your sexual prowess. Your value is not in how good you are in bed. If that is what value is, great men will be doing that. But can I tell you, it's not every man that even has the capacity to have something to do with a woman. So does that mean they don't have value? No, it doesn't mean so. It means that what makes a man to be a man is more than his sexual prowess. It's more than how well he can unzip. It's more than how fast he can unzip. It's more than how long he can unzip. It's what he has to offer. It's what he has to offer in terms of his contribution, in terms of impact, in terms of contribution to the society, to people. It's what he has to offer in his life or through his life. Now, he doesn't necessarily need to be a rich person. He could be a cleaner that cleans like nobody else. He could be a driver that drives like nobody else. He could be a court jester that jests like nobody else. But not first how good he is in bed with women. Is baby daddy good for you? You probably need to answer that question. You probably need to ask yourself, is that how I want to be remembered? Is that what I want to invest my life in? Is that the life I want to live? Will I be proud of it? Is it a decision that can stand the test of time? As an undergraduate, I remember we had classmates who, a lady in particular, I remember, and I'm glad that things have changed. She once said to me, you know, it was a wave of feminism that was moving, and we were taught feminism, of course, in the university. And I remember she telling me that, I don't know the conversation we had, and it got to marriage, and she said she doesn't want to get married, she just wants to have a child. She wanted to have a child outside of wedlock and be a single mother. Today she's married and she's happily married. I haven't brought up this conversation with her, but I remember that. But guess what? That's how some men are. And let me tell you, oh man, you think you are smart, right? You think that lady, you got her. If perhaps you know what it takes women to strategize, to calculate, and to get you, you will know that you didn't win, she won. You didn't win, she won. Oh, you thought that you got her, right? No, she got you. You didn't use her, she used you. She planned to be where she was when you saw her. She planned to do what she did. When she did it and you noticed her, you didn't know. Yeah, I impregnated that babe. No. She had it in mind she was going to get pregnant for you. But do you want to be a baby daddy? Are you proud of it? Are you sure it's not your trauma that led you there? Are you even proud to go to the child and say, I'm your father? Think about it. Think about it. Decisions are very important, and it's not something we take lightly. It's something we take thinking of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. It's something we take and we think of when we are no more. And we are remembered about the decisions we have taken. What will the memory look like? What will it look like? something we're proud of? What if we're on the other side and we're watching the movie and seeing what is happening based on the decisions we have taken? There's still an opportunity. You can still rethink your step. Thank you very much for watching. You can subscribe, you can like and comment, and then follow. More content will be provided strictly for men. Thank you and bye.